Sports chat. Robin Toskin is here with us. So, Robin, good morning.
Good morning.
I understand that Blatter may be reconsidering his resignation from FIFA. Where is that coming from? Is that possible?
Interesting stuff, and you know, you never know. In the world of football, strange things happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of things have been happening at FIFA. But we've just been reminded by Domenico Scala that he's told Blatter just to, you know, honor his earlier statement that he was stepping down.
Yeah, he needs to go. I think his time is up.
17 years and all the scandals, I think is enough time. And really, now that he had already resigned, or is he just trying to, you know, be scandalous?
But remember, he was voted in by 133 member associations of FIFA. So maybe he thinks that come December, those members can go there and tell him, look, you don't have to resign, just stay put.
But you know, they say perception is reality, and given his image right now internationally, I'm not sure he'd be able to lead, even if, you know, there was nothing found on him, just the fact that he had all these scandals around him.
I think it is in his interest really to step down, because what FBI, you know, is doing is that they're actually closing in on him, because they have indicted already quite a number of his close associates. So I think it is in the interest of Blatter just to go home.
All right. Locally, I know there was also rugby, and Kenya was playing Uganda. Yeah, I must say I was a bit disappointed with the scores.
But we won, although it's maybe a small margin. But then that makes it even interesting in the return leg of that Elgon Cup, because at that stage, you expect these two neighboring countries, you know, to have that fierce rivalry. You cannot really say that maybe it's not an impressive win. Always, you know, neighbors will always want to, you know, pull each other.
Right.
All right. And as you take it away, Rudisha is back to winning ways.
He's back.
He's Amerudi.
Amerudi.
And at least you taught me, I didn't know there's Grand Prix in athletics. I thought that was just, you know,
it's called the IAAF Diamond League, or you want to call it Grand Prix. Oh. So it's run in some of the world's top cities.
Or is he running next to a car?
Last time he was in New York, he's coming off an injury. Yeah. But then he really showed that he can still do it. He returned home in 1 minute, 43.58 seconds. You know, coming off an injury, I think Rudisha.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. And you know, he's warming up to the World Championship that's coming up.
Excellent. Take it away. And Seth, good morning. Ustuja kunyamazia.
Yeah. 800 meters world record holder David Rudisha got back to winning ways by bagging his 4th straight win at the New York Diamond League Saturday night in the US. The Olympic champion clocked a season-best time of 1 minute 43.58 seconds. Elsewhere, former world champion Janet Jepkosgei finished second in the women's 800 meters race. Seth, coming off an injury, two big men. Usain Bolt, you saw him, you know, struggle, but then our own King David Rudisha, you know, winning, albeit, you know, struggling to come through. How does it feel coming back, you know, from an injury to winning championship?
You know, I like David's Rudisha's mentality, because when he missed last week, I was like, yes, I've missed this this week, but I feel I'm strong. Even if I'll come back, I'll show something. I'll show that I still have it. And that is what he did. And I really have a problem in that test, because it seems we don't have someone who can take from Rudisha as compared to our ladies at 800 meters, because in 800 meters, we have Eunice Sum. You know, if Sum is not there, we have Jepkosgei. At least we have someone from there. But 800 meters, still David Rudisha is the one who will hold us. Minus him, I don't think we can perform. But he's good. I like his mentality. Because
I was in Birmingham Diamond League the other week, and everyone was asking about David Rudisha. I told them I don't have the answers. Maybe his agent and the trainer would say, because they believe it's only David Rudisha that can come from Kenya. You look at Ethiopia, this Mohamed Aman, who is always competing against Rudisha. Does it worry you that maybe we don't have someone taking up from Rudisha?
Absolutely, because last week I remember the first Kenyan who finished close to the top, I think was in third, fourth position, if my mind serves me right. And if you look at Nigel Amos from Botswana, when he doesn't see David Rudisha in the lineup, in the race, he's comfortable.
Kenya losing to Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I think they were overconfident. First of all, after defeating Portugal, was it 45? Remember that friendly match. So going to Zimbabwe, you know, they had high hopes. We're going there, we're going to defeat them. But Zimbabwe were prepared because looking at the margin, they lost, it was by 28-20. So those 8 points, so they were like, yeah, we go there, we'll just do as we did against Portugal. And I think it's not good news because after that, we're playing Tunisia and then Namibia.
Sure.
It's not easy against Namibia. Yes,
that World Cup qualifying ticket is very important.
We can win against Tunisia, but against Namibia, I don't know. So I think if Coach Jerome Boateng wants to make Kenyans happy and proud, he should just find a way of defeating both Tunisia and Namibia and hope for favorable results, that is against Zimbabwe, when the two teams shall be playing against it.
Let's turn our eyes now to volleyball. The African Cup of Nations is going on at Kasarani. Because Kenya booked a place in the ongoing African Cup of Nations semi-finals after powering past Algeria with 3 straight sets. The Malkia Strikers will now face Botswana in the last group match today before finding out who their opponents will be in the semi-finals. Robin Okenye was at the Kasarani Indoor Arena and he reports.
Revelry was on Sunday afternoon as Kenya took on Northern Africa volleyball giants Algeria in a grueling Group B encounter. Hundreds of fans who opted to spend their Sunday afternoon at the Kasarani Indoor Arena provided a magnificent atmosphere as the two giants tested their supremacy. Kenya was quick off the serves, taking an 8-3 lead, forcing the Algerians to call for a timeout. The Algerians rallied to trail Kenya by 2 points before the home team's attack narrowly bagged the set 25-20. The second set was anchored by Algeria, forcing Coach Lungao to shuffle his receptionists. The changes worked in Kenya's favor as Malkia Strikers banked the second set 25-22. The third set was one-sided as the Kenyan Queens rallied from behind to win the set 25-17, bagging the game in 3 straight sets.
Ilikuwa game ambayo ilikuwa na tension kabla tuanze, lakini la muhimu ni kwamba tumeweza kushinda. Timu ya Algeria ni timu ambayo ni ngumu sana, lakini nimefurahia vile wachezaji wamecheza, maana kila wakati kujaribu kubadilisha walikuwa wanabadilika, na hiyo ndio imefanya ikatuwezesha kuweza kuwashinda.
Tulijicompose tu na tukasema to take every score step by step, na ndio maana tumetoka victorious.
In an earlier match, Senegal came from a set down to upset Tunisia in a game that saw both teams battle to 5 sets before the West Africans won it 3-2.
Yes, Seth, you can see the girls, the ladies are really, having, a good feeling about their win over Algeria. They are playing Botswana today. Do you think that feel-good factor will really help the team beat Botswana?
Definitely, and I was looking at the groups, we were in the same group with Botswana, Algeria, Mauritius. It was a relatively easy group, and with that crowd behind our ladies and the form they're in right now, they have qualified for the All-African Games. Sure. I think that one, in one way or the other, has just given them that momentum. And against Botswana do not stand a chance.
You think so? Because they have a very good development system in all phases of sport. We've seen athletics, Nigel Amos, traveling Rhodesia. We've seen 800 meters, people like Amantle Monsho. Now volleyball, nobody even thought of Botswana, the challenging countries like Algeria or Senegal.
Yeah, but I was also looking at the winning ratio, that's for our ladies, and it was 1.46. And actually, no team is close to that. In the group, we have Algeria, 1.00, the winning ratio. And looking at the group Kenya is in right now, 6 points. Other teams have 3. Looking at Group B, 4 points with Morocco, with Morocco having no point at all. Sure. So Kenya is the best team so far, the way they're playing. I don't know whether they got opponents flat-footed, but they're looking good. That continue to swing. They have been close for a long time, and they know each other. So they're complementing each other well, and I think that is a factor which has made them perform so well. You're
talking about people like Mercy Moima, Jen Washu there, Braxidi Sagala. They come with experience. But do you think that experience is the only thing, or is a matter of form? It's a matter of maybe tactics and opposition?
Looking to what David Lungaho has tried to do, he has tried to bring both experience and and tactics and put them in the same place. And because you cannot rely on just experience, because as long as experience with age, someone might be experienced but not fast enough. So looking at bringing Massimo Im there, Massimo Im has come to be one of the best attackers Kenya has produced.
Sure.
And I think on the tactics which he has deployed, bringing back, what was not there in the qualifications for all African games. So he has just tried to find that best rhythm for them, best tactics for them, and trying to complement each other. And that is, I think, one of the factors which has made this team to be fierce.
Yeah, with the girls, winning in volleyball at Kasarani, we expect maybe today again that we just roll over Botswana. But of course, like we said, good things happening in Kenya. Harambee Stars, they went to Congo Brazzaville. They came out with an impressive 1-1 draw. But many people have expressed, maybe in the social media, some have been saying, really, it isn't a big result. Kenya have gone to Nigeria, drawn against Nigeria. How significant was that 1-1 draw in Brazzaville last evening?
Okay, on paper, it is an impressive draw, but anybody who watched that game can say it was a lucky escape. Yeah, because we did mistakes, especially in our defense. Saleh was looking shaky, same with Boniface Oluoch. I don't know whether it was pressure, but we were just shaky. And if you look at the boys, the way they play.
We've seen what has happened with Arnold Origi, who is the #1 goalkeeper. Do you think it's very important for Arnold Origi to come back in the next game against Zambia?
I thought we can do away from Arnold Origi, but unfortunately we can't. Because right now we have got, if you ask me, like only two top players. Goalkeepers, Kasaya and Boniface Oluoch. And Boniface Oluoch is not living to the expectations. And Kasaya, we know him. So I think we just need Arnold Origi before we find a reliable goalkeeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, last week we saw the Treasury Secretary, Henry Rotich, read a budget, and he allocated 1.8 billion shillings to the building of stadia in Mombasa, Nairobi, and Eldoret. Do you think that is sufficient enough?
Robin Toskin, in 2010, when Kasarani Stadium was refurbished, renovated, the Chinese government used 900 million. That was just for renovation.
Renovation of Kasarani.
And we also talked about the Bukungu Stadium. Yeah, the county said it needs 1 billion to make that stadium, that field look, be of international class. And we also talked about the Kipchoge Kano Stadium, whereby 200 million, more than actually was used. So trying to imagine 600 million per stadium, that is from 1.8. We're building a stadium in Mombasa, Nairobi, and Kisumu.
He knows his map.
He knows 600 Robin Toskin. For example, let us talk about the Soccer City Stadium, the one which was used in the World Cup. It used close to 28, it was 25.7 billion shillings. But it all depends where the type of stadium you want. If it's all about just the playing surface, yes, it's enough. But if you want to build
Rotich, the secretary says that they want to make Kenya a sporting hub, and they have said 1.8 billion is enough.
That is not enough. That 1.8 billion, actually, I doubt even if it will.
Can it build one stadium?
It depends with the type of the stadium you want to build. Yeah, for example, you can go to you can get a car, a car for 250,000. You can get a car for 2 million. So it all depends with the quality. What quality do you want to build? What quality of the stadium?
You saw the stadium in Congo yesterday where Harambee Stars were playing. Very simple, small one, the Owande Stadium. Do you think Kenya can come up with something like that?
I believe that the stadium is the surface. Yeah, that playing tough.
You've seen what is at Kasarani Nyayo Stadium.
Exactly. And if you want to build something which is good, I'm afraid this 1.8 will not be enough. I think it would have been a region of, let's say, 5 billion. At least if you allocate 1 point something to each stadium, that would have been good. But
Kasarani in 1987, this construction started in 1985, I think. Cost the Kenyan government 3 billion shillings.
Exactly. And remember, that is 1987. Now, everything has now gone up, the materials which will be used to build it. So, trying to compare 1987 to 2015, Will 600 million be enough, Toskin? No.
Kenya is hosting CHAN in 2018. Do you think Kenya will be ready?
With this pace, with the way government is doing things, I'm afraid we might not be ready stadium-wise. Yeah, maybe if maybe Rotich could have said these are 1.8 billion. Let us use it to renovate Nyayo. Let us use it to renovate City Stadium and maybe Machakos, because even Machakos, yes, it's good, but still it needs.
You want to spread the game across the country.
You cannot spread when you don't want to give the money. Seriously, you cannot. For example, the NYS was given 25 billion, I think. 25 billion. 25 billion, so far, if you ask me, what for? Yeah, anyways, why do they need the 25 billion? And while at the same time, you claim you want to build sports. And these sports you want to build, you're giving it 1.8 billion. So,
I hope the Treasury Secretary, Henry Rotich, has heard what you're saying, and hope that maybe they will reconsider, you know, increasing the allocation, the budget allocation to stadium, development. That has been Sports Chat, and coming next, it will be The Way It Is. I'm taking you back to Sophia Wanuna and Michael Gitonga.